In 1953, during the search for oil, water in the Sahara Desert of Libya was found suddenly. This water was so much that the whole world can depend on it for 40 years. The water in Saharh is just like a treasure, so the Libyan government decided to use it, and they also do it. This water was found in the south of Libya, but all cities of Libya were in the north. So, Lybia made the Great Man-Made River. Welcome to Chiki Media. The Man-Made River Project, also known as the Great Man-Made River, is a massive infrastructure project in Libya that was designed to bring water from underground aquifers in the Sahara Desert to the coastal cities and populated areas of the country. The project was started in the 1980s by the government of Libya, under the leadership of Colonel Muammar Gaddafi. The project involved the construction of a network of pipelines that would transport water from the desert to the coastal cities. The pipelines run from the Nubian sandstone aquifer system in the desert, which is one of the largest known underground water reserves in the world, to the coastal cities of Benghazi and Tripoli, as well as other populated areas. The total distance covered by the pipelines is more than 4,000 kilometers, making it one of the largest irrigation projects in the world. The drilling was done by the French company Forages Pétroliers Sahariens, which specialized in drilling for oil and water in the desert. They used drilling rigs and equipment that were specially designed to withstand the extreme temperatures and conditions of the desert. The search for water was focused on areas where the geology indicated the presence of underground aquifers. The drilling team used geological survey data and drilling logs to identify subsurface rock formations that were likely to contain water. The drilling process was slow and often difficult, with the drillers having to contend with sandstorms, extreme heat, and other challenges. But eventually, they succeeded in finding water. The first well was drilled in the Tandradakakis region of southwestern Libya, where the team hit a large underground aquifer that was capable of producing water. This was a major breakthrough, and it led to the development of several more wells in the area, which provided water for the local population as well as for irrigation and other uses. This marked the beginning of the development of water resources in the Sahara Desert of Libya, and it was considered a step forward in the water management of the country. The Man-Made Rivers Project was an ambitious effort to harness these ancient water sources and make them available to a much larger population. The government of Libya drilled deep wells to tap into these underground aquifers in the southern regions of the country, and then built a massive network of pipelines and canals to transport the water to the northern coastal region, where most of the population lives. The project was expected to cost billions of dollars and take several years to complete. It was a grand vision to make Libya self-sufficient in food production and to improve the lives of the population. Libya spent about $25 billion on the construction of this project. However, despite the ambitious goals of the project, it ultimately proved to be a failure. There were several reasons for this. One of the main problems was that the technology used to create the man-made rivers was not advanced enough to handle the harsh desert conditions. The pipelines and canals were not able to withstand the high temperatures and frequent sandstorms, which caused them to break down and leak water. Another issue was that the project was plagued by mismanagement and corruption. The government was unable to effectively manage the construction and maintenance of the man-made rivers, and there were reports of widespread fraud and embezzlement. This led to delays and cost overruns, and ultimately, the project was not completed as planned. As we know, Libya is facing civil war. During the civil war in Libya, construction of the man-made river may be halted or delayed due to a lack of resources, labor, or security. If the war is taking place in the same area where the river is being constructed, it may be difficult to safely transport construction materials and equipment to the site. Additionally, workers may be unable to safely access the construction site due to ongoing hostilities. If the man-made river is already operational, the war may also affect its maintenance and operation. The war can damage the infrastructure such as the pipes and pumping stations, and make it difficult to repair or replace them. It could also disrupt the supply of water to the river as well as the power supply. In some cases, the man-made river could become a target of attacks during the war, which can cause significant damage and disrupt its operation. Even if it is not directly targeted, it may become unusable because of the surrounding conflict and the lack of resources and personnel to maintain it. Overall, a civil war can have a significant negative impact on a man-made river, delaying its construction, disrupting its operation, and causing damage to the infrastructure. In addition to these technical and logistical challenges, there are also political factors that contributed to the failure of the Man-Made Rivers project. The Gaddafi regime was known for its authoritarian and unpredictable nature, making it difficult for foreign companies and organizations to work with the government on the project. Additionally, the regime's poor human rights record and support for international terrorism made it difficult for the international community to provide funding and support for the project. In the end, the Man-Made Rivers project was a failure because of a combination of technical, logistical, and political challenges. Despite the ambitious goals of the project, The government was unable to effectively manage and fund the project, and the technology used was not advanced enough to handle the harsh desert conditions. As a result, the project ultimately failed to provide the water and agricultural production that it had promised. It's important to note that despite the failure of this project, Libya still has a significant amount of water resources, mainly underground aquifers, and it's crucial for the country to find sustainable ways to use and manage these resources. The failure of the man-made rivers project serves as a reminder of the challenges and complexities of large-scale infrastructure projects, particularly in a desert environment. Hope so you will like this video of Chicky Media. Thanks for your lovely comments.